Okay. So, hey guys, we're about to ask ourselves questions we've not asked ourselves before. And I think I'm going to be really surprised, but I have hard questions for him. But you know what? PYT is that coded guy. You won't know what is up to, but me, I've been making more. I have hard questions for him to answer. So what you're going to see here will be our raw reactions. Um, Questions we've not asked each other before and honest answers coming from us. So for example, when did we start talking? Like May 2024? Yeah.
When did you start talking to me?
May 2024.
Are you asking me that question? Is that my
When
first
did we
question?
start talking?
I started talking to you three years ago.
So it's been a good journey. But the purpose of all of this is really so that you can listen in on us. First, we get to know a few things in terms of our thoughts, but also we hope that you get to pick one or two things, learn one or two things, find hope again, find love again, and have fun. Yeah. So who goes first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay, so I'll just shoot. What was the first thing that surprised you about me when we started talking? What didn't you expect?
Okay. Did anything really surprise me about you? The answer is no.
Okay.
And that's because of how this journey started for me. I started probably this is 2025, so it's going to be 4 years, but 3 years before we started talking. And just to put some context, I came across my baby's page in 2021. And from the moment I came across it for the very first time, God told me she was my wife, But for every time that a picture pops up, anytime I go on Instagram, that voice again would say, "This is my wife." And I think I remember a particular day, I just decided to really go through our page. And from there, I was able to gather some information about her. So, up until the time of our initial conversation, to be honest with you, I won't say there's anything that actually popped up and I was really surprised or taken aback because what I knew of you were just a confirmation of me interacting with you on a personal note. So nothing has shocked me yet, to be honest.
Up until now.
Up until now, apart from that, you're looking finer than
Hey.
you were before, thanks to me. I love.
But I was fine before.
No, you were not.
Ah.
You were FIN. The E was missing. I added the E to it.
Okay, I agree.
But no, you were fine. You're looking fine now. So honestly speaking, if I really think deep about it, I've not you've not really surprised me to say wow, whether and not in a negative way, to be honest with you, because you've been very genuine, you've been very authentic. Our conversation has been real, and I think one of the key things that has really and is working for us is that we've been very intentional from the very first time we started. So I said nothing has taken the
Thank
best of
you.
us.
Okay, but let me throw this in here.
Yeah.
3 days ago, was it 3 days ago? I was saying to you that I saw a girl who wasn't looking so fantastic and she's been in a relationship. And I said, so this goes to everyone. If you have a friend, a sister, a girl who goes into a relationship and she begins to depreciate in her looks, you need to ask questions. Because typically, a guy is supposed to make you more beautiful. When you come into a relationship, what people will call jokingly the love glow.
Yeah.
Yes, for real. Something just glows on the inside of you because love feeds your outlook, right? Feeds your looks, feeds your emotions, and generally you're supposed to bloom. If somebody's not blooming, sit the person down and ask questions. Okay, you go.
Okay. So my question
Hey,
to you.
oh,
So what was the moment you knew this wasn't casual anymore?
ah, okay. So you really never minced words. You said to me I think the second time we spoke that God told me, that you're my wife. You said that to me. So I knew you were serious. Now the question is, the, at what point did I now feel in my heart, I just may go all the way with this guy? Um, when I started asking you a barrage of questions, and I remember you would call me 1,000 questions, and you would tell me you're now at 990 something, and you would patiently answer all those questions. And the answers to those questions were a pointer to what your values were, and they were in complete alignment with what I expected from what I wanted from the kind of person that I wanted to marry. Also, coming from a place where I was initially not thinking about marriage at the time, for every time we spoke, you convinced me that God was doing something at the time and it could be with you. So really, that point was you patiently answered all my. You would even ask me, so what's the next question? And some of the questions I felt were a bit too daunting, but you would take your time and answer these questions. And for real, I think that did it for me. Yeah. Yeah, that really did it for me.
Okay.
So me next.
Yes.
Aha. At what point did you finally say I was going to propose to this girl, and what were your fears?
Okay. I think, like you alluded to, I knew from day one that you were my wife, or you are my wife, should I say? Sorry. And I remember when we started conversing, I think, like you said, the second time, from the moment I uttered those words to you, that just know that God told me you are my wife and I have no plan B. I knew that the next stage for me was, okay, when am I going to propose? I wasn't even thinking, is she going to say yes or no? Is she going to come back? I even remember saying to you that I don't have any plan B. Go and pray about it. There's no pressure. Even if it takes you 1 year, I will be waiting for you to come back with that answer. I was sure, beyond any reasonable doubt, that this is the person I was going to spend the rest of my life with. So, if you remember, there was a particular time in our getting to know one another that you said to me, and I'm going to paraphrase it, that a girl, a lady really wants to be sure of the journey she's taking with a guy, and you don't want any gray area. So, what are your plans? And I said to you that within 1 year, I'll propose to you. And I know, I think by the end of 2025, I was going to propose to you. By the end of 2026, I was going to get married to you. And look at what God has done. I've actually exceeded my plan, with you, that not only did I propose to you this year, we're getting married this year. So I think for me, from the moment I uttered those words to you to say to you that I know that you are my wife and I have no plan B, I knew straight away that I was going to propose. Did I nurse any fear? Of course. For both of us, this is our second journey in the journey of love, in the journey of marriage. I remember clearly when I knew that I was going to propose to you, that I had an exact date. I was afraid. I mean, I don't know where the fear came from, as in, I had a barrage of questions. Are you sure you want to do this? Singleness is not really a bad thing. You can have companion. You don't really have to worry. Yes, Pastor, thinking about that, I thought about it, and God so good. Every first 3 days in the calendar month, the church that I belong to, and we pray and fast. So when we finished our 3 days praying and fasting on the month that I proposed, which was April, I decided that, God, I need to continue and do a 21-day praying and fasting. And I remember I told you that I need to do 21-day prayer, but I didn't tell you why. I, you know, and I remember I carried the church along too. I said, church, you don't have to. It's me that God wants to pray and fast, but if you can join me, because I needed that extra support to buffer, to strengthen my fear of, you are really, really doing this. And looking back now, it was the best decision in terms of the praying and fasting because that gave me the strength, the courage, it pushed back, dissipated all the fears that I had, and I had the strength and the courage to propose to you on the 28th,
Yeah.
if I'm right,
On
of
the 28th
April,
of April.
to say, will you marry me? And yeah, so yes, I was afraid.
Okay. Well, I never knew you were afraid
Yeah.
because well, you didn't even let me know.
No.
Anyways, yeah. Okay. Any questions for me?
Okay. Obviously, I have posted on Instagram, Facebook, the 10 reasons how I knew you were the one for me. How did you know that I am the one for you? Or give me 2 reasons. You don't have to state all the 10. How did you know that I am the one for you?
Biggest for me, you're so kind.
Please
Not
say
just
it. I don't think they heard you. I need to
you're
repeat that.
so kind. Not just kind to me, but kind to everyone around. Um, your kindness to everyone around is a big attraction for me, and that lets me know it's not about you, Ibuku. He's a kind human being, and kindness is the basis for so many things. That I feel safe with you, and I've told you a couple of times that you feel your peace, and I could feel the peace all around you. I don't have to tiptoe around you. And that was from even when we just started talking. I was very unusual with you the first time we spoke, and I think we spoke for like 3 hours or so. And that was very unusual. I'm sure you will know from now that that's so unusual. I felt at peace with you, and that's carried on into the relationship. So, yes, you're kind. I feel at peace with you. I can be myself with you without looking back. You are a man of God. You're good looking. So, you caught my spec.
Okay. So that was your spec.
Yes, you're my spec. So
Okay.
recently, TFD shared a voice note. When I was thinking about you very in the very initial spaces, I sent her a voice note saying, "Oh, I saw that you're on this guy's Instagram page. I see that you know him. Go, what kind of person is he? Because right, TFD, I have to tell you, I really like the guy." That was my girl space with her. So you definitely you're my kind of guy, good looking, and that's big for me. Yeah, that's definitely big for me. So when I looked at, I can name 20, but we don't have time for 20. But you're kind. You have been intentional. If I was going to put number one, that's you're very intentional about me. So, even up until 3 days ago or 4 days ago, yesterday, that you told me something that you did, very intentional, even in ways that I do not notice. I just look back and thought, it was intentional about this, including selecting the date for for proposing to me, including knowing what could make me cry at a proposal.
I think you should
That
talk about
completely
the
blew me
dates that I
away.
selected, actually.
No,
You
I
don't
would
want to
like
share
to
that?
talk about it. No.
Okay, all right.
I would
That's
like to bring that into this space.
Okay,
That's fine.
all right.
Yeah.
No, that's
But he was so intentional about selecting that date, and he was going to erase a certain memory, and that was just so beautiful. Yeah. And to think that, I mean, guess what? So you had erased that memory
I had erased
before
it.
that day, because even on that day, you had erased it by your person, your love, your everything, and that goes to actually say this. So if a lady has been in love before and the love was so good, or she's been in a relationship before and it was so bad, coming into a new relationship, what takes it away is for the guy to just love on her. Honestly. So you've been very intentional. You're very, very intentional about me. All of that and many more made me know that, oh, I really want to spend forever with you. And you feel safe. The ladies will know what I mean. You feel so safe. I'm not looking over my shoulder. And that's just great.
Okay. You're next.
Okay. So, if you were to change anything about me, for real, ah, that question of for real. Can I change my question?
Yeah, I think you should change your question.
Let me look for another question. No, that one, I'm not sure it's for podcasts. Yeah. Okay. What intrigues you the most about me? What makes you very excited? The most. the most.
You're very intelligent. There's no two ways about it. So I'm sapiosexual. I love intelligent conversations, and all the conversation, and it's not even in the area of business, whether it's children, whether it's family, whether it's ministry. You're very, very intelligent. There's a wisdom that God has given you that makes a man feel safe without looking back or having to. I found myself saying to you, or even members, because obviously we're doing church together, that I will say to some of the guys in church that, look, whatever doc say, just do it. You don't need to come back and check with me. And I'm the pastor of the church. I just say, look, just do it. And for a man to get to a position where he can let go and let go, that is big. Because as leaders, as the man of the house, we always want to have our hands, our input in everything. But when you have a woman that gives you that confidence, that assurance that, look, I've got this. There's something you always say to me, I'm here. And for every time you say it, it's like you're literally removing one finger grip on what I have. I'm literally letting go one at a time to say, okay, she's here, she's got this. And I don't think there's anything so beautiful as especially for a man to know that, what, I can let go of this thing when it comes to my woman. So yes, you're very intelligent, you're very beautiful, definitely. I've said this to you many a time. I always feel proud when I'm walking out. It's like, you're not a trophy, you can never be a trophy, but I cannot just wait to go outside and show you off and let people, the world know that this is my babe. Let me give an example. I told her that if we're going for an outing, that one of the things that I would do for sure is that I would just drive to the venue and I would just tell, oh, baby, you just go inside. Let me go and park the car. No, that's not the reason. No, that is not the reason. The reason I'm doing that is that when she walks in, I want all the men to be looking at her. Who is that babe? Oh, I need to collect a number by the end of the event. And then I will walk in majestically, sit down next to my babe and give her a kiss. And I can just see the men go, she's already taken. Oh my God, we've lost it. Huh? That is my vainness, but jokes aside, you're very beautiful. You carry yourself, I remember when our proposal video went out, one of the common statements or comment that people really were giving on social media is that, oh my gosh, she's very demure. Look at how she carried herself. You could see that this person is matured. Not that it's bad running out, but the way she carried herself, and it was a common statement. So it's something that I already know of you, and you've carried that through, and that speaks volume. So yeah, that's beautiful about you, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
My own question. Now let me look for a hard one. Let me look for a hard question.
Okay.
What's one thing about our journey so far that still surprises you when you think about it?
So my impression of you, also coupled with the fact that you're a pastor, is that you are going to be a little bit boring. That's what I thought. But I've not had one single boring moment with you. You're like fun to be with. You bring out the fun part of me, the girl part of me that I typically don't show on the outside, that very difficult to uncover. You bring it out with ease because you're a lot of fun to be with. And I think many people don't know that part of PYT. So that was surprising to me. The second bit that was surprising to me was, and I don't know if I should say this on a podcast, but maybe I should. When I tell you, you're just the kind of person I want as a model for my children, you remind me of how it's important that I still need to learn to co-parent with my ex. It's a learning for me, but you're guiding me through the journey. I didn't see that coming. And for me, that's fake. I promise, let me promise you, I promise I'll work at it more and more. Yeah. But for me, it's a part that I really did not even think about. That it would be something that you would make me want to do.
And let me say this, Alice, for those who are going to be seeing, listening to this podcast, the point that she touched on is very, very important. Now, I always say this, and this has always been my approach from day one. I knew from day one that my wife, even though it's wife to be, but she's my wife, I can clean that clean right now. My wife already has 3 children, and it was very, very important for me as a man to make her feel, number one, safe, and make the children feel safe that, number one, I'm not coming to take over their biological father's role, irrespective of whatever the history was or is. It really doesn't matter to me. My belief always, and I've always been a great advocate in this, that the very first decision that God took over the beautiful children that God gave her, and her ex, was to choose the father and the mother as the custodian on this earth. Now, me coming in to try and take that position is occupying someone else's office. And I will never do that. It has never been my style. It will never be my style. Can I be a father figure? Yes. Can I support them? Yes. Can I play the supportive role? Yes. But behind the scene, which a lot of people don't see and they don't know, is that I will always direct them to their biological father. Always direct them in my teachings, in my deliberation, in my talking, in my advice that I give them. I will always, always make sure that the role of their biological father remains and will always be intact. And that is something that is very, very important because it also gives the children the assurance. Because no matter what, children will always know that, look, they have a father and they have a mother. And no matter how good you are to them, you know, for them to really accept you and make you feel and make them feel safe that, this is a man that we can trust, is to point them to their father. As long as their father is alive, we must always do that as men. So we can't just come in, and just take that role. And whatever you see on social media does not cover everything that happens behind the scenes. So you can't go by a 1 minute video or just a still picture of what you see and come up with a conclusion that somebody is taking a mother's position or somebody is taking a father's position. It's very, very important.
So yeah, that's very big. That as initially was a struggle when he kept telling me because I'm like, how is this gonna work? But he keeps pointing me back before you need he co-parents well, and he says to me it's possible, and whatever you have as history with an ex needs to be put aside and understand that co-parenting those children is God's will. And for me, that was very big. It still is very big. I know I'm still learning.
I know you're still learning.
Yeah, I know I'm still
And it's a
learning.
journey.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going next, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Did you ever think that at the proposal, I may have said a no?
Absolutely not.
Uh-uh.
Ah,
Excuse me.
strong no. Absolutely no. As in capital N-O. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
So this journey started very interesting. And for people that know me, that are very, very close to me, I always say this, that once I'm your friend and you have a mom and dad, I'm going to steal your mom and dad from you.
Yeah.
I always say that. So I had a plan. The plan was to win the hearts and mind of her children, win the hearts of mind of mom and dad, her siblings. Once I get there, even if she wants to say no, by the time she goes to mom and dad, her siblings or her children, they will not allow her. So the moment I had them in the bag, is like, this is a done case. But also, our conversation also started changing. At first, there was a little bit of What's the word now? Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Apprehension? Am I right?
Okay.
In the sense that she wasn't too sure whether the thought of marriage, whether she can embrace it immediately, even though she knew that this was different to everything or the past relationship that she's had. And I remember a particular day that we just came back from, I think, the stores, and we sat in the car, we were talking, and I mentioned the word marriage, and she broke down and started crying. Was it crying or she was wailing, actually? And I was looking at her as in, by mentioning marriage, I was really surprised that I had to call mom. I said, Mommy, please come and talk to your daughter. She's crying, and so on and so forth. And when she calmed down and I asked her that, why are you crying? Again, I can't remember the exact word, but it was more of just the thought of marriage, just putting her a little bit of fear. And I'm like, okay. So I knew as a man that I needed more work with her. I needed to make her feel safe. I needed to make her feel assured that, look, this part we're in it together. From one extreme of crying to, I can get married to you today. I can get married to you today. I
Yes,
can't wait to start
yes,
it. I can't wait to
yes.
be with you. So I knew that,
Yeah, okay.
that
Yeah, sure.
transition, that transformation has
It
taken
happened.
place. Her
Yeah.
mind is ready to conceive the next day. So when I knew that, that's even what made me bring the proposal forward, if I'm being honest, because we had plans.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to do it before the end of the year. I just took, okay, it's time for me to bring this one because I knew she was ready for it.
Sure.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I
that
gave
that
you all the
you
cues.
gave me all the cues.
True,
You
true.
gave me
Because
all
I
the
remember many
cues.
times
Yeah,
I can literally get
you
married
can
to you
get
now.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
True.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to the day you proposed, by the way.
I know you were,
Yeah.
and I caught you off guard actually.
Jesus. So let me make you laugh. So I thought it was going to be during summer.
Yeah,
I was so sure, like, but boy, you can't catch me. Yeah, but can I tell the story of
you can tell the
the
story.
proposal?
Yeah,
Interesting. So he comes to Nigeria and then he said to me, "Oh, there's a no before you came that there's a dinner he's going to be speaking at, a church dinner. He was going to be speaking at, and they're supposed to speak about
I was supposed to speak to the couples.
the couples
The couple.
on relationship working and stuff. So we're preparing, and on that day, I was going to wear a black dress. And then he kept saying, "No, I'm wearing black. Why do you want to wear black?" I'm like, "Black is great for a dinner." And then he said, "Oh, no, no, no." I'm like, "Okay, what is this for?" But I didn't think anything because you generally don't like me in black dresses. So I thought it was about you not liking me in black dresses. And then you now said, okay, that I should get ready for dinner. And in my typical self, I was getting ready for dinner. Then when we left home, this was where I should have caught on. When we left home, dinner was supposed to be 7.
Yeah,
You then said to me that we should go and get a gift for the pastor's wife. And I'm like, but it's time. Okay, you said it's raining, and you were talking to the pastor. Meanwhile, you were talking to Jonathan, trying to ensure that the kids made it there and all of that. So you were saying, oh, I'm talking to him, and we truly went to buy a gift for the pastor's wife and the time. So when I got there, I saw that there were, my first impression, when I saw that there were, oh, you know what now took me off again? He had a sermon prepared. And he was reading the sermon to me in the car. And I was giving my perspective. No, 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 no. Let's talk about the woman perspective to this thing. He literally saw, I mean, come on. And now, what now crowned it for me was, so he knows that what gets to me the most is worship. And he brought a lady that gets to me all the way from Lagos. When I hear her voice, she reaches me. But all the way from Lagos. And so when I heard her voice, plus the whole trying to hold everything back during when I came in and all of that, I couldn't just but cry. But I was grateful to God.
even though she
in
had
that
boasted,
moment.
was it a day before?
I'd boasted 2 days before that. I
Is
said,
it a
I don't know why people
proposal?
cry in
You don't want
proposal.
people cry in proposal.
It may be unexpected, but it's not a surprise. It's not. I don't understand why people will cry in a proposal, but you knew what would make me cry. Yeah.
So let me give
just-
an advice to the guys
Yeah.
out there. Being intentional is one of the sweetest gifts you can give a woman, honestly speaking. because I remembered when we started, there were quite a barrage of questions that I'd asked her intentionally to get information from her. So, what are the key things that are important to her? What are the important dates to
How
her?
do you want me
What
to
are the
love
low
you?
women? And so on and so forth. And she had mentioned a down period, in our life that I remembered when she mentioned it. I said, I would do everything that I can to erase that moment, replace it with something that she can
Hallelujah.
hold on to for the rest of her life. So everything that I did was orchestrated towards addressing that particular
Yeah.
date, you know,
And it did.
and I remembered, even planning it and going over. And this is another intentional. She knows that I do not like getting to places or to event late.
Late. Yeah.
So all the things that I did to throw her off could have actually revealed that there was something that was happening, but she couldn't sense it, and it was a beautiful moment, and I can't count how many times I've literally gone back to watch that proposal videos to say, oh my God, this really happened, and for me is one of my happiest, most beautiful moment,
Same
and I
here.
couldn't have created that day
Thank you.
with someone else but you.
Same
So
here.
yeah, so thank you for that.
Same here. Thank you for bringing me to the space of, oh my God, I want to marry again.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, that's beautiful. Yeah. Question for me?
So I have a question.
Hey.
Let me see. What is one thing about our journey so far that still surprises you when you think about it? It's time for me to ask that question back in another
That
way.
still surprises me
Yeah.
up until now. You know, nothing.
See?
Nothing. You've been real authentic from day one. Nothing has unveiled differently. The only thing that I'll say, it just got deeper and deeper. Oh no, one thing. One thing. The day that you forgot your passport at home, picked a wrong
Oh
passport.
yes.
Oh, so I knew a different part of you, and I've kept it in my left hand. That if you hit some things, you may curl into yourself.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen you curl into yourself. I'd never seen you just completely just, like give me some time, some
Okay.
space. Yeah. And
When you're doing ministry and there's an expectation on you, it can be it was really daunting for me. And like she said, for the first time she saw a side of me which was, oh my God, this really hit me hard. I crawled into my shell. There was nothing she tried to do to make me come out. But even though she tried everything and I couldn't come out, but I went to her
yeah, so the next thing he did was he booked a flight and it was right
straight
in
away.
Abuja.
I booked a flight
Yeah.
and I went straight to Abuja to spend time with her,
Yeah.
and the children, and
Yeah.
that was really what brought me out. So
Yeah.
there will be moments like that, but as we journey this life, I will try as much as possible to find a way not to run quickly into my cave and allow you to be that buffer that provide comfort. Yeah. So
Next one. What about singleness? Do you not want to? Would you have said, because I have one or two that singleness, singleness for a while. Both of us were single for a while. What about singleness? Do you think, okay, I'll lose this part to the fact that I'm getting married again?
the part I don't
This part
lose
was
is
sweet.
sleeping on my bed alone. To be honest with you, anytime we're doing a
Yeah.
video call and we're talking, she'll be saying, "Oh, that bed is too big for you." No, it's not too big for me. It is not at all.
Yes,
And
that bed
actually,
is too big for you. That house is
kitchen is
too
too
big
big for
for
you.
you. That
No,
kitchen
no,
is
no,
too
no,
big
no,
for
no,
you.
no. I'm
Yes.
gonna lose that. Independent of me just walking into
Yes.
the house,
Nobody cluttering around
clutching around
you.
me.
Your space to you.
Already I've lost half of my cupboard. We are
Yes.
being told now we need to get a dedicated room that is
Yes.
going to be a closet.
Yes.
I'm going to lose that part. But to be honest with you,
Somebody
you know,
needs to ruffle his
you
face
know,
a little bit.
singleness. It's not good to be single. That's what the Bible says. It's not good to be alone. when God said that, I'm sure there's a reason, for him saying that. Am I looking forward to being married? Absolutely. Is there anything that is in my single life that I can hold on to and say, I wish I can delay getting married to you? Absolutely not. Like Bible says, two are better than two is better than one, and there's nothing as building life, traveling this journey, with your partner, your co-pilot, your flesh of your flesh, bone of your bone. It's just a beautiful journey, to be honest with you. So yeah.
I feel the same. And like I tell you many times, thank you for creating safe space for me. And when I say that, I told him one time that there's only a lady that will understand when I say thank you for being safe space. I'm not nothing to worry about. I'm just so happy to be with you. Am I to go next, or you are going next?
I think it's
No. You have to go next.
Yes.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who asked that question.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, what is your singleness? Yeah.
Okay. Let me look for an hard question. What are your non-negotiables in a relationship?
Yeah. One, cheating. It's a deal breaker. Because it's not just so much about the cheating, is that I feel that what we share shouldn't be shared with any other person. Two, disrespect. Not, and I'm careful when I use the word disrespect. I mean, when someone talks you down and does not have, even in correcting you. So to be honest, it's difficult for me to even remember when you corrected me, because I think you do it in such a very clouded manner that I probably won't realize. I think I realized you corrected me after the fact.
After the fight?
Yes.
Really?
It's later when I look back.
So we had a fight.
You corrected me.
We had a fight?
Did you correct me in that one?
Of course I did. Definitely.
So you must have.
No, let's talk about this fight that we had. So how long did it take us before we had our very first love fight, like I would call it?
Probably 15 months or so.
15 months?
Yes.
That was when we had in the 15 months, we never had a disagreement.
We never did.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
For couples to be together and
not have disagreements. Yes.
So before we talk about the disagreement, what happened? How did we go 15 months without disagreeing for you? What contributed to that environment?
I would be very honest. I think you made that happen, because sometimes I felt that I probably went out of line one or two times, but you were calm. You probably won't talk about it until later. And that's being very honest. I feel that your calm demeanor does not fuel any fire. So I'll give that to you. To be honest. Sometimes I feel like you look at it like, let me just let this small baby. I feel that.
Do you remember you used to say to me that we have never had a quarrel. So how are you like when we have a quarrel? That this is unusual.
I wanted to know. Yeah, I said it's unusual, but I need to know that part of you where we have a quarrel. Yes.
So is it fair to say you instigated this our first love first? Because you wanted to know that how does this man
I wasn't
fight?
even looking forward to a first fight. The first disagreement. Let's even use this.
Our first disagreement was a shock to me, actually, because I saw a side of you that also I had never seen. To be honest with you. So going back to that question, now that I think about it,
yes,
the shock on as in, okay. But for me, I think what dampened it was because, like you said, that was our first fight. I won't call it a fight, disagreement. In 15 months. So it was a bad day in the office, but I took note of it, to be honest.
What has that changed?
It doesn't change anything. If for me, I think Actually, no, let me reverse. What does that change? My approach. Because now that I know that side, if something ever occurs again, I think I have a different approach on how I will actually tackle it, to be honest with you. I do. We don't wash our dirty million in public. So I know people want to know what is it. No, we won't tell you.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I have a different approach to it. Yeah.
I did a post on social media. That
Yes.
post was directed at you. Until today, you do not know, and it's pinned on my Instagram.
Okay. Remind me. I think you've told me that it's directed at me.
Okay.
I think you have,
Okay.
but you want to
Yeah.
mention what the post is?
Yeah. The post is, I said, if you see her in the office or something,
Yeah.
you would think she cannot, well, maybe she doesn't have a soft side or something.
Yeah.
And if you see her in the home, you would think she can achieve anything
Yeah.
or something. It was directed at
It
you.
was that. Yeah. I think you pointed that out.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Why do you think I said that?
I think being able to handle the two sides of you. Um, there's this thing that I call firstborn syndrome. You're the first child, so you've always been in a commanding, leading, giving direction, giving directive, at home. You have, your two thriving business. You have people that work, as in over 100 people that actually work for you, male, female, etc. And there's nothing as for a man to create an environment for a woman when she gets home, she leaves her cape at the door and she comes in and falls into her man's hand. And she wants to be a baby girl. She wants to be a baby. She wants to be that little girl that just wants to be looked after, be pampered. And to make that transition is not easy,
But you make
you
it
know?
easier, I think.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
again, it is being intentional. And the only reason I have succeeded so far is because one of the questions that I asked you is that how do you want me to love you?
Yeah.
In
One
the
of the first
very
questions you asked.
one of the very first question, that was part of me being intentional. And let me throw this little gem out there. Men, listen to me. My brothers in arm. When you're intentional about the gift God has given you in terms of a woman, God will download to you how you should love her and how you should treat her. That is one of the things that I've learned in this journey. I was very intentional,
Yeah.
and when I asked her, how do you want me to love you? I didn't read that in a book. No mentor, no teacher, no pastor taught me. It was just something that came, and I actually asked her, and she gave me a list. I took note of
And
those
you
lists.
took notes.
Notes
The day you
of those
showed me the
lists.
notes.
She was very surprised.
Oh my goodness.
I took note of that, and
Yeah.
that is what I have focused on. I've not done anything outside. I've not done anything that I believe I know. I've just discarded everything and concentrated on the 11 things or so that she gave me. And that is how I've been able to create that environment for her to know when to put on the cape and know when to take it off. Even when she has a cape and I'm still with her, I still do things to make her feel love, make her feel strength, make her feel,
You sometimes
the
make me
CEO
feel, baby, you don't have to deal with this one.
that I don't have to deal with it, definitely. So, yeah. Um,
No, you make me feel sometimes, babe, you don't have to deal with this. I'll
absolutely.
deal with this for you. Honestly, so this speaks to females in the marketplace
Yeah.
or doing some things in their career space. When it comes to relationships, you need to look out for someone who is man enough, safe enough to accommodate both versions of you. And PYT has seen so many versions of me that people are probably not seeing. They have seen me in my downest moments. So we must learn to be able to nest. A man that can allow you to nest. A man that can open his chest and know that, you see, forget the world. I'm here for you. And we must be able to take that whole cape thing off and just fall into that safe space. And I think it's important for mental balance. If there's anything that I told him, I said, you made me realize that I needed this much more than I ever thought that I needed it. And that manly thing that comes into you when you have been in a single space for so long as a woman, you're able to shed it and be the baby girl I really want to be. And I'll say thank you.
Yeah.
So that's really, really, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, another thing that, I love that you do, and you still did it this afternoon. So after service, we went out, just to go and have a coffee,
Yeah.
just chill after service. And I caught her, and I've seen this many a time. She'll just be looking at me, and she'll be shaking her head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
and,
good
and
choice.
and she and she did that today, and I said, "Yes, I know you're in love with me. I know."
And you will not, you're always
and
proud.
He's like, can you
You will
not be
not be
humble? I said,
humble
why should I
about
be
it.
humble? It took me a lot of work. I know what I'm doing to get to that space. And again, that speaks volume. In the sense when a woman looks at you and she's just lost in her thought and she's looking at you and she's like, I really love this guy. It speaks volume. It validates what I'm doing, that I'm obviously doing something right, and for every time that happens, for me it's like, okay, God, thank you, I'm doing something right. What do I need to do more to keep that going? It should not be something for now. It should not be something that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years into the marriage, it disappears. For me, it's even good that I'm experiencing that, because if we're 3 years, 4 years into marriage and she stops looking and she stops shaking her head, then that means I'm doing something wrong. So these are telltale signs that I'm picking up, I'm noticing, and like I said, it's a form of validation, and I just need to make sure that I keep doing what I'm doing to keep that head, nodding, to
Yeah.
keep her smiling, to keep her saying I feel safe as a woman, and so on and so forth. That comes with that kind of thing.
Let me tell you something I remember something that shocked me completely.
Yeah.
I am in, I am, I am in my house, and I said, "What was that first time you came in overnight? What was it that was happening?" I just said I wasn't feeling too good.
Oh, no. It was Valentine.
Yeah. So our first Valentine together. Yes. Our first Valentine together. I was supposed to fly into London.
Yes.
And then something came up with my son whose exam date was moved. But he had just left Nigeria and I was supposed to go into London for us to spend Valentine's Day together. Yeah. So on that week, my son's exam date was moved. So I had to move my travel to after Valentine. But the girl in me was saying, tell him so that he knows that it's not that Valentine's does not mean anything to you. Just tell him. That was what was going through my mind.
And what does Valentine mean something to you?
Why?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a day that we just sort of, commemorate?
Dad.
What?
Remember Daddy? Yeah. So Daddy told me that every Valentine he takes the women.
Oh, so we grew up. It takes all the women out. So yeah. I grew up.
You grew up
with a tradition of celebrating Valentine's Day.
And Daddy.
Yeah. And Daddy had said that to you a couple of times. So I just said, okay, this week. I just told him, I said, you know what was going through my mind there really was, let me tell this guy so that he knows that even though this year we can't do it together, Valentine's Day means a lot to me. So in a nice way, I said, I would have really, I'd have really loved us to spend this week together. However, I understand.
That was not what you said, though.
Babes, wait.
That was not what you said, though.
I was nice.
No, you were not, though. So let me just let you know. Valentine is very important to me.
Yeah,
the first and the only time
that we will not spend Valentine's Day together. But I did say I understand.
Yes, you did. Afterwards, you now said you understand.
That was 8 p.m. Nigerian time. It was 7 p.m. in London at the time. Yes. And then an hour after, 9 p.m., I was taking my night walk. Yeah. And then he calls me and he's in the car. And I said, oh, babes, where are you going? He says, I'm on the way to the airport. Of course, I laughed. I said, airport to do what? He says, I'm on the way to the airport. And he says, check your WhatsApp message. He legit booked a flight that night to fly into Abuja. I'm like, no. And he says, babe, you know why I'm telling you? Because I need you to sort out my parking at the airport because I'm speeding so much that there's no way I can sort that out. If not, I would have just appeared to you in the morning. Oh my goodness, that blew me. That blew my socks up completely. So, guys, within 2 hours for it, he booked a 10:30 p.m. flight at 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m.
Oh,
So
more, that blew me
I
away.
only
That
took
blew me
my
away.
laptop bag.
Yes. I was on his way to
and I was
Abuja
on
from
my way
London.
to,
Yeah. That blew me off.
to
And then
Abuja.
a second time that you blew me off that way, I was in Dubai and we just had a women's session where we're all vulnerable and I was just not in a good space. And I told him on the phone, I said, oh, babes, I just need a hug right now. He booked a flight, same thing. And he's back and was like, yeah, I came to give you the hug. Oh no, that completely. So you've done a couple of things that have just.
And to be honest with you, I think this is where the intentionality comes, to place. Because I always say that what is important to her is important to me. What matters to her matters to me. So if I go back on the Valentine, when she told me that, look, this is something, is a tradition, and when I heard her say that, look, this is the first time and the only time that Valentine's Day we must be together, it was important to her. And I thought, okay, you know what? Why not if not? For me, the result, the reward was not necessarily with her, but also mom and dad's reaction. Because I remember that morning when I went into mommy's room, mommy looked at me and is like, PYT. And I'm like, oh my
Really?
God. And she got up and she gave me a hug and she said, you really love my daughter. I said, yes. You really love my daughter. I said, yes. And mommy started crying. That was more than, just the, and like I said to her, I said, look, I was still mommy and daddy from you from day one, And then the second one, the Dubai, no, let me even go back to, that, because I came empty-handed and I didn't have, much. And I remember I was saying to dad that, oh, I didn't bring anything, not even, boxer short or vest and so on and so forth. Daddy literally went into his room and brought, his vest. I think he gave me his vest, to wear. And again, that speaks volume for my father-in-law to do that. That means that, look, I know you've not married my daughter, but you are a son to me. And for Dubai, even though she said she just needed a hug, as of the time she said it, I believe you were alone in the hotel.
Yes.
And the Caroline came to join you in the room. She has a mentor. She had at least two close friends that could have given her big sisters to her. But for me, even though all 3 or 4 of them could have given her a hug, I believe what she needed at that particular time was a man's hug. So again, I jumped on the plane. That is part of the intentionality that money can't buy it. Once you're constantly doing that to your partner, then just know that you're setting and building a very strong foundation that you can build on, and it makes the woman and for me now, what I always say is that women are very easy to love. Love them the way they want to be loved, and what you will get back in return is little compared to buying a ticket and flying to Dubai or buying a ticket and flying to London. Because what I have reaped because of those actions, honestly, I really cannot quantify it. So, well done. Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, let me ask this question. When I asked you, how do you want to be loved? And you gave me your answer. Do you remember your answers?
To be honest, I don't even remember all.
You don't remember? Should I remind you?
I know you have the list.
I know you
the
have
day
the
you
list.
showed me the list,
I wonder if you can talk about one.
Tell me which one.
If you can talk about, so let me, I can't give everyone mine. So you talked about companionship. You talked about correcting you in grace. You talked about having that disposition of, can you do this for me? In my life, you want to remain as number one, going on holiday together. Let me see.
You're skipping some back.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
Be yourself. You don't want to walk on eggshell around me, etc., etc. So out of those ones that I've mentioned, or you can even look at it, You want to talk about one that I've done very well? That is a 10 over 10. Let me just, let me. Are you reading something else? Or?
No, no, I'm reading that.
Yeah.
To be honest, you've actually done everything well.
And so talk about one.
One,
Yeah, just you pick one. Talk about one.
companionship.
That we have not mentioned.
Companionship, because
Okay.
I remember your response to me.
What was my response to
You said
companionship?
you would not even feel that you're in a long distance
Oh
relationship.
yes.
Because I
yes.
said companionship was big for me
Yeah.
and it was a major, yeah. And you said to me, you promised me that I will not even feel that I'm in a long distance relationship.
And how did we quantify or qualify that?
So first of all, we said it was going to be a minimum of a certain number of weeks. We must see each other.
Yes.
It's either you come or I go, and you have done a lot more of a coming.
Yeah.
Some of those have been spontaneous. You have been very deliberate about not breaking the timelines. You are very well on the phone almost 2/7. I know where you are. If you ask me where is PYT now, I know exactly where he is. You would even go the mile of even sharing your location every time you're moving. You are you know what's up with me everywhere, everything about me, you know. So while we're miles away from each other, it really has not felt that. When I remember that a couple of months ago or so, I said, you promised I won't feel like this is a long distance relationship, and you have made that promise good.
So, and that's another thing, for couples that are in a long distance relationship, and let me speak to our ladies here. If you're in a
You're
long distance
accountable.
relationship with a guy and the guy is too busy to call you, to check up on you, break that relationship.
Yeah.
I know, men, you will come for me, but so be it. Because a man cannot be that busy, knowing fully well that you are miles apart and he does not make time for you. Like my baby said, one of the promises that I made to her is that long distance or not long distance, I will make sure that you do not feel that you're in a long distance relationship. The only time we don't talk to each other is when we're sleeping or we're in church, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's the only time we don't talk to each other. And no matter how busy I am, I may not be able to talk to you 24/7,
Yeah.
but I'm constantly chatting you
Yeah.
up. I'm texting you.
Yeah.
I'm sending you reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
5 things how you know that you love a woman. I
Yeah.
will send it. So even though they're not my words directly, but these are my
You
thoughts.
communicating.
I am communicating, with her. Like she said, if I'm somewhere, I will share my location and so on and so forth. So a man cannot be too busy not to call you or send a text to check up on you. Because one of the things that she said she wants to be loved is to always make her feel that she's number one in my life. And I do that by my actions.
Yeah.
So even if you're in a long distance relationship, some of us might not be too rich in code to be traveling up and down, but at least let your actions back up the fact that she's in your life, she's important to you, and call her. Even text her. How are you doing? How is your day? Have you had breakfast, or what did you have for breakfast this morning? You may think it is insignificant, but to the woman, it is significant. That you mean this thing that is so minute, he's thinking about it. So it's very, very important that you constantly are in your woman's life. And ladies, please, I know I said men. Men are, in the percentage wise, men are at fault most of the time, but ladies also reciprocate. Let us also know that you're thinking about us, Ask us, how is our day going? My king, my babe,
My
whatever,
premium man.
my premium man, whatever pet name you give your guy, let him know that you're thinking about it, because we're out there hustling, doing everything that we can. Just the thought of my woman is thinking about me. I remember the very first act. I know I said no to this, but now I'm remembering. Sorry, so forgive me. I remember my first travel to Abuja and then going back. We had spoken, and it's like, okay, because obviously I live on my own. By the time I get home, I have something. I don't know whether it's an OCD. I can never get home and leave all my stuff in my suitcase. I have to unpack first and foremost, put everything back, and then I'll then now have to now prepare food and so on and so forth. And I remember she was asking me, "So where are you, babe? Well, you've left the airport, yes, and so on and so. Oh, you're now home, yes." I got home. I had literally opened my box to unpack. I heard a knock on the door, and I'm like, "Who knows I'm in?" When I opened the door, it was Uber Eats. My woman had ordered food for me. Oh my God. I mean, I was blown away. It wasn't the food, it wasn't the amount. And even if it was the amount, can you imagine converting naira to pounds to order food? She had ordered food. I was completely blown away. And I think for the first time, that was when I knew that, oh my God, I'm really in love and I'm really in a relationship. And I also have a woman who is very intentional about me. That spoke volume. Um, Honestly, if you had bought me a house or bought me a car compared to that act of kindness, random act of kindness, honestly, I don't think there's anything that can compare to it. These are the things that makes us men also know that, oh, I have a good woman. I have a woman who's in my corner. So it goes both ways. Both of you just have to be very deliberate, very intentional, and trust me, when you put yourself into that position, God will start downloading how to touch your woman's heart, how to touch your man's heart by your actions. So yeah.
Have I spoken about your wisdom in all of this? There's no way we are finishing this and I won't speak about wisdom.
Okay, I'll yield the floor.
So
And I'll be
QIT
the
is
last
a
thing.
man of wisdom. I think, I'm very wise. So I always had worries about, my God, that's how just one man now. I always had a bit of, but when I met you, I found wisdom on another level. That was an attraction. I couldn't leave that out of that list, you know. You're so wise. So when I call you premium man, one of the things that fit into that is because you're so wise and your perspective to things sometimes. And it's a call out to men. I think that so I say something to you, and wisdom is a big part of it. I said, I'm not afraid to submit the leadership of my life to you. Yeah. So if you're going to choose a man, he's going to lead if you're going to have a successful relationship. So you must look for a man of wisdom. You're a very wise man. So when I say to you, I'm not afraid to submit the leadership of my life to you because I can trust your decision-making process. It's so different.
And that's very important. Trust my decision making process. I had to be making decisions to win her trust, to gain her trust, to let her go in the sense that I can trust this man. And wisdom comes from above. So you may not have it. You may meet someone who is even more wiser, more intellectual than you are. But if you submit yourself to the Lordship of Jesus Christ and you pray that God give me wisdom on how to navigate, handle, treat, lead my home that God has given me, trust me, God will give it to you. Especially when God sees the sincerity, of your heart. It's very, very important. Because when two people are caught together, God arms you, God gives you what you both need to build and to support each other. And that's very, very key. And like I always say, no woman fights a man that has that ability to make the right decision. One of my favorite politicians, I don't want to go rogue because if I mention his name, we will lose, I'll probably lose half a member of people that are interested and watching this. I love the man very well. And I said to her this morning when we left church, I said, the reason this man has so much boldness is that he's delivering. He delivers. And you cannot argue with the result, with the work that are very tangible.
Yeah.
The man delivers. So how can you fight him? Why wouldn't he have the boldness to be declaring and saying certain things? Because you can't fight results. And when a woman has a man in a corner that is always delivering on results, oh, do this, babe, you do it, and it's like, oh my God, oh, that is wisdom, oh, that's a good decision, and you see the end product of it, then trust me, she yields the leadership. When men go into a relationship and I'm the man, you want to prove that you're a man, you will lose a woman immediately. You don't have to prove anything. Prove by making the right decision. And the only way you can make the right decision is that God gives you the wisdom to make such decision. And you don't have to be a pastor for that. Because I know some of you will be saying, oh, because he's a pastor. No, it doesn't have to be a pastor. Have I made mistakes in the past? Oh, absolutely. I have. But you learn from your mistakes and then you submit yourself and say, okay, God, I'm doing this again for the second time. Help me not to make the same mistake. And God surely will come to you and give you the download of heaven. So
Can I just say I can't wait to be married to you?
I can't wait to be married to you as well.
You didn't allow me to do my baby girl complete sha.
What's that?
That's why I keep telling me that
what?
you didn't allow me to form complete.
Yeah, I can't allow you to form. What's that our song that I said I'm going to, whilst I'm riding on a horse?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Yeah, but I know you mentioned the song.
Juggler.
Juggler. That he broke the juggler.
I broke the jugular of a strong woman.
Oh my goodness.
Jugular.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy. It's been a good journey with you, and I'm happy to share it with the world. Yeah. And I'm so happy to be with you. And I know I'm not just saying that for the camp. Probably I've told you up to 3 times today. Yeah, I'm happy to be with you. I feel safe and I can't wait to do forever with you.
Sitting here, can't wait to do forever.
Okay.
Amen.